What movie plot hole bothers you the most? In every Christmas movie where Santa is real but no one believes in him. Who do the parents think is putting these gifts they didn't buy under their Christmas tree? And also, if Santa is real, does he just plain hate good poor kids or something? Seeing as he refuses to give them presents. In universes Santa is real, we don't know for a fact that poor kinds get less presents. However, still plot hole of where do parents think the toys come from is unanswered. Maze Runner, so mankind is dying out. Crippled by a global disease. And the only way they can find a cure is to build a humongous city-sized maze to test teenagers' intelligence? Where did they get all that steel? And with humanity falling apart, who built it? A ducking maze? I got so pissed at the weird pseudoscience they seem to be creating in the second book, that the only thing to cure the disease is to create these weird life or death scenarios with all these elements of tragedy that are both artificial and genuine. I mean, it's an okay allegory for modern society, but the reality of the fictional world falls apart completely. Go into this hidden room. It will be a surprise party for you with all your friends. He enters. The room is empty. There are a few party decorations. Only a person who experienced a surprise party where their friends didn't show up can cure the plague. At the end of Space Jam, Michael Jordan leaves the ground at half court, but it only counts as a 2-point shot even though no part of him or the players that are blatantly fouling him are within the 3-point line. The final score should be 79-77 Toon Squad. Not 78-77. Edit. Jordan does not dunk the ball, and even if he did dunk the ball it should still be worth 3 points. The T-Rex door in Jurassic World. What possible purpose could there be for putting a door to the Rex pen right in the middle of the shopping area of the park where hundreds or thousands of people are located at any given time of day? When would you ever even think about opening that door? Let them stretch their legs a bit. Though, the Adamanus, or whatever the duck it's called, Rex was way out away from the shopping center. Presumably because of how dangerous it was. Correct? I think the raptors were pretty far out too for the same reason. Yet, the ducking T-Rex sits right in the middle of the most populated area on the island. What is the protocol if someone sabotaged the door and let it out? How could they possibly get there fast enough to prevent people from dying? Why did they put the T-Rex there? And why is the door facing the intersection of the shopping center? Forget the running in high heels sheet. This is the real plot hole. A Deus Ex Machina if you will. Yo, you know what's ducked up? Harry Potter is balling. They show him in Gringotts in the first movie and he's got stacks on deck. Galleons for days. Literally a Warren Buffett-as looking as man. While his homeboy Ron lives in abject poverty. He buys his friendship with candy and that we'll take the lot move on the train, which was really just him flaunting his bills. Then in the second movie, Ron's got a ducked up wand after he saves Harry's and gets him to school and Harry doesn't do shit about it. That's some third-akin serious issue that could be life-threatening and Harry never thinks to buy his only goddamn friend in the whole world a wand despite the fact that he's got Bill Gates' wealth. He's just like, sorry man, I guess you gotta throw up slugs for the rest of the semester. Edit. Damn, I'm glad everyone is as passionate about HP as me. Thanks for the gold, although I'm not sure what it does. Edit 2. Just to clarify, I'm not asking Harry to bankroll Ron's entire life. But a wand is 7 galleons. I'm sure there's some kind of magic QVC where he can order a way for another one or something. Are the students at Hogwarts whose wands break just ducked for the semester and have to fail every class? There has to be some kind of way for Harry to get his money and Ron to get another wand even though they can't leave campus. The T-Rex in Jurassic Park runs nearly as fast as a jeep. But the one in Jurassic World runs slower than an exhausted woman in totally indestructible heels. Edited. They aren't kitten heels. They are 3.5 Sam Edelman heels. Apparently. Not a movie but show. In Paw Patrol, the construction puppy joins mid-season as a homeless puppy. They take him in and give him a job. This is fine. Next season the guy in charge of all the puppies finds a box with all the puppies' baby toys and the construction dog has one. He was never in the Paw Patrol as a baby. I watched the show Dog with a blog with younger cousins and 2 episodes stood out. In an earlier season, Stan, the talking dog, told a story of getting a little white pill, and after a strange weekend at the vet, he had no desire for kids anymore. My cousins did not understand, but basically, Stan got neutered. Then, in a later season, Stan gets married and has puppies. I feel like the only one who noticed this. In the most recent Jurassic Park, one of the primary drives for the plot is that they need new and exciting dinosaurs to draw in more visitors. Because apparently attendance numbers are dipping. It's why they make the Super Mega Dino. The problem I have with this concept is there is no ducking way in hell that place isn't booked solid for years. Ducking Disneyland manages to stay profitable and they don't have monopoly on actual live mother ducking dinosaurs. That park would have attracted the richest vacationers from around the world. They have a giant mare croc. Duck and SeaWorld killer whales drew crowds for generations. And they were not 100 feet long assistant mare hers. They have those orb things which apparently allow people to actually drive around to see dinosaurs on their own. That ride alone people would pay thousands of dollars for. Hell, they already do for safaris in Africa and those don't have dinosaurs. To top it all off, it's clearly a tropical island resort. The kind that draw millions of tourists each year without any dinosaurs at all. Hey babe. Want to take our honeymoon at the tropical resort that also features the chance to see actual live dinosaurs? Duck, yes you do. There are literally more people who would want to go to that park than that place could possibly sustain. Their issue would not be we need to genetically engineer new super krilla dinos to get more tourists. It would be we're out of land space. How do we build floating luxury hotels so we can cram more people into our park? Die Hard 2. The idea that you can have planes circling Dulles for over an hour that don't have enough fuel to reach another airport. National is 40 ducking miles away. The Incredibles. What happened to the supervillains? Seriously. With heroes gone, villains should have taken over the world easily. Ban the Spider-Men and Batman. All you're left with is the Punishers. Supervillainy probably became a lot more risky. John Wick 2. The whole secret assassin business was really cool and interesting at first. But as the movie progressed, the more you wonder, is it really secret? Is there anyone who isn't a ducking assassin? Why is no one reacting when people are killing each other in bright daylight? Why does a single drink costs a gold coin? Who does Wick's hair? It's fabulous. Anna's frost sickness thing can only be cured by an act of true love. Back at the castle, Olaf sits with her near the fire and she says, "You'll melt." He responds, "Some people are worth melting for." Olaf is knowingly and voluntarily killing himself just so that his friend doesn't feel alone during her time of need. How in the duck does that not constitute an act of true love? Full stop. Edit. Yes, I understand that the act of true love needs to come from Anna. In Frozen, when Hans stops the soldier from killing Elsa. Why? His plan to become king hinges on her death and he had a room full of witnesses to see somebody else doing it. He gets to keep his hands clean and Anna will cling to him even more. Stupid. Stupid Hans. Sorry. My toddlers love that damn movie and I've seen it way more times than I care to. It has been a little while since I've seen the movie. But at this point in the plot, is Hans still trying to win Anna over? She would have been suspicious of him if he didn't at least try to stop it. Nala and the lionesses could have overtaken Scar and the hyenas at any point. They proved to be young, strong warriors that could have easily conquered some malnourished hyenas and an old, frail Scar. Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa couldn't have influenced the fight all that much. Entire Harry Potter series, and the books as well. I am a huge fan, but I gotta say that Quidditch is absolutely pointless. 99% of game time action is dedicated to scoring the quaffle for 10 points per score. Meanwhile, the game doesn't end until one team seeker catches the snitch for 150 points. Why would a team ever even attempt to catch the snitch if they were down 150 points? assuming that the majority of games are somewhat competitive, with scores within a 150-point difference. The entire game is pointless besides the two team seekers. Imagine Barcelona is up 14-0 to Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo catches a firefly in his bare hands and the game is effectively over, giving Real Madrid the win. In the Bee Movie they give honey back to the bees in the wild, despite them never taking honey from the wild bees. The X-Files movie from the late 90s. Mulder travels to Antarctica, gets a snow cat, runs out of gas, finds an alien base, rescues Scully, and as they escape the base, the entire alien base turns into a ship and takes off. So now they are stranded in Antarctica with no vehicle, no means of communication, and at least a full tank of gas away from any other base. Plus, Scully's just coming out of a coma, so she's not going anywhere for a while. They are completely screwed. Smash cut to Scully at a hearing in Washington DC. WTF. It pulled me out of the movie so hard I can't remember anything else about it. Elysium. You mean to tell me not one philanthropic person decided to put one of those healing machines on Earth? Or that the big evil government didn't put them on Earth to get money off the poor people? In Finding Dory, how does the whale shark speak whale? This is a big part of Finding Dory and comes into play in Finding Nemo as well. Another thing in Finding Dory that bothered me was that, presumably, Finding Nemo is journey from the Great Barrier Reef to Sydney. In Finding Dory, Marlin and Nemo basically show up in California in the first 15 minutes of the movie. That's a long journey for a fish that took days, weeks, to go a few miles. I still don't get what Diana's plan was in Batman vs Superman. She knows Lex has a photograph of her during the First World War. So she goes to the party and then what? Through sheer luck, Bruce Wayne is also at the party and is looking to steal data from the same computers, so he, with his Wayne Industries high-tech hacking device, copies all of the data off the server, including the photo. Diana steals the device but she can't get past Lex's encryption. So what was her plan when she walked in there? Threatened the server with a sword. There's no reason that even the poorest districts wouldn't set up academies, camps for young people to train to win the Hunger Games the same as districts 1 and 2. To be fair, the results wouldn't be the same, but they have the exact same incentives. Incentive drives innovation, if even for an overall dumb movie series. Innovation breeds efficiency. District 12 would have willing volunteer trained basically the same way as District 1 in the 74th year. In Face Off, the greatest movie of all time, Sean Archer, with Castor Troy's face, tries to prove to his wife that he is in fact Sean Archer by taking a blood test to demonstrate that his blood type is different from Castor Troy's. From my very rudimentary understanding of transplants, don't you have to have the same blood type as the person you're getting the body parts from? And then Sean Archer, as Castor Troy, shares with Eve, his wife, some stories that only he would know. Why didn't he do that from the jump? Instead of making Eve extract blood from Castor Troy, as Sean Archer, while he slept. Ugh, this movie is so good I get so upset. Towards the start of the first Monsters Incorporated, Mike Wazowski says to Sully, "You've been jealous of my good luck since the 4th grade." This line essentially cancels out the second film where they meet each other at college for the first time. Ocean's 11. How did those bags with X's get in that elevator? Bugged the heck out of me until I read in another thread that even the director could not answer it. Oh well. It's not like that movie was about details and planning. How long was Luke on Dagobah in ESB? Parallel to Han and Leia, it seems like a couple of days at best. Is that really enough time to learn all that shit? He was probably there for a few weeks. Remember, Han and Leia had to travel slowly to Bespin since the hyperdrive wasn't working. Also, Luke still sucked as a Jedi after his training with Yoda. He learned the basics but still had to take a year or so, until Raj, to train and become a proper Jedi. Batman Begins. The weapon that vaporizes water. It's supposed to be used on the train to emit the Drew gas all around Gotham. It's shown blowing up pipes and vaporizing water on a massive scale. Humans are mostly made up of water and yet they stand next to it and nothing happens. Always irked me. Pretty much everything SHIELD related in the MCU. First they are this super secret agency. Then everybody and their grandma knows about it. Then they are super secret again. I mean, those people fly around in huge ducking jet carriers. Have this huge building in the middle of DC. And everybody's like SHIELD? What's that? Edit, typo. Any ghost movie where the ghost is trying to send a message by writing a couple words on the window or a computer screen. If you can write a couple words, why not just write the whole message out then? Why does it have to be cryptic? The Matrix 2. Neo being a magic god who can wave a hand to destroy robots in the real world. They seriously missed an opportunity for the real world to be another area of the Matrix which was specifically designed to catch outliers. Imagine if it turned out that the Matrix had been going for 1,000 years and the entire planet was a jungle reclaimed by nature. That the entirety of human civilization wasn't a body farm, but was instead just a few stacks of servers hidden away in one solar panel covered building. There were no bodies to go back to. They were all data. Neo, or whoever, could hop into a robotic chassis to walk around a little bit and show the world in the last scenes. Not some weird destroyed dystopian world. Just a world without humans. Instead they went for oh god. Meh. At the end on the Godzilla movie when they think they destroyed Godzilla and all the babies, there is a close-up of a hidden egg and it suddenly hatches to baby Godzilla who have been missed by everybody. It's been a decade and it still pissed me off not knowing what happened to that baby Zala. In the Santa Claus. When Tim Allen first arrived at the NP, the elf he starts talking to just disappears and then, like mid-sentence, is replaced by obviously a completely different elf. This is my 3-year-old daughter's favorite movie. So I watch it at least 30 times a week and it gets me red with rage every single time. She asks my wife, "Mommy, why is daddy so angry? Doesn't he like Tim Allen?" And my wife just cries into her coffee and wonders how she got here. In Back to the Future. At the end after Doc Brown gets shot, wearing the bulletproof vest, the Libyans simply crashed into a kiosk. They didn't buy or disappear. The terrorists were still there and dangerous, but they acted like the kiosk completely did them in. In the movie Signs, we are supposed to believe that aliens were smart enough to develop FTL space travel, fly the whole way to Earth, invade, and never once test the planet to see if the substance that covers 70% of the planet would burn them alive. They wear no spacesuits, have no protective covering, etc. Stupid. Disney's Atlantis. The whole time these stupid Atlanteans are wearing glowing pendant keys that are similarly shaped to the ignition hole for their zoomers. It took some scraggly white guy scholar who had been there 2 days to investigate their vehicles and get them running. Despite the fact that these idiots lived there for their entire lives. Covered and gave up on the vehicles. And somehow the old leader that ends up dying anyways didn't remember? I guess. Currently it's the Purge. Why would the neighbors want to kill that family? Because they were rich. But they were rich from selling security systems to the neighborhood. Right? So they paid for a commodity and were mad at the guy who sold it to them? I am confused.